Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, everybody. How are you today? I'm Gabriella, and welcome to our next episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. Today, I am super excited to bring to you guest expert Marjorie Saulson. Hey, Marjorie.
Hi there, Gabriella. How you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. You and I have had several conversations now, and you have such a fascinating and interesting background, and you have an expertise that I certainly can benefit from, and I'm sure that our audience can as well. Would you please share with our audience what it is that you are an expert in?
I am an expert in public speaking, and that doesn't mean for me just giving a speech. I think it's any time you talk to somebody other than yourself. So it's speeches and networking and calling on the phone and connecting with people personally and in business. All of those things are things that are really important, and I love to help people improve.
That is awesome. I think that that is something that pretty much every single person out there could use some help with. Public speaking by far is the hardest thing in the world to do, at least from my experience and people that I've spoken to. So, will you please share with our audience a little bit about your background and history that got you to being this expert in public speaking?
Well, it's very interesting you should ask that, Gabriella, because my very first business coach, Pamela Bruner, said, "Your mess is your message." And I was a very shy introvert. So I really had to learn how to be comfortable speaking. And what's interesting is I actually did not have a lot of trouble doing what we consider public speaking, giving speeches, maybe because I wanted to be good in school.
Uh-huh.
But but picking up the phone or talking to strangers, networking, those were all challenges for me. And as I got better at it, I realized people need these skills, and I, slogged through the mud to get here, and I want to make it much easier for other people.
Yeah. I've had conversations with a number of people, and it seems like if you introverts tend to be really good up on stage where they don't have to do the one-on-one, and the extroverts do much better down in the crowd. And when they get on stage, it's like deer in headlights. And I think that's kind of where I'm at as well. So I'm really good down on the floor in the crowd and walking around and talking to people in the room. But when I get up on stage, whew, I get so nervous. Oh my gosh. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
Um,
work with people who have panic attacks, so I get it.
yeah, I used to think you could actually hear my voice vibrating when I would get up in front of people. But apparently they say you can't. But yeah, I wouldn't go so far as panic attacks, but I definitely would get very, very nervous and anxious. So I totally get that. Like I said, I certainly could benefit from your services, and I'm sure lots of other people could as well. So one of the things that we ask our experts, and you and I had a very interesting conversation, is what is it that you found or find influence in? And you mentioned a really intriguing poem. Will you share that with us, please?
Yes, this is it from my high school literature book, and it's the poem is County Elegy in a County Churchyard by Thomas Gray. And I want to
Mhm.
share one verse with you. Pardon me while I look over here and read it so I get it correctly. Full many a gem of purest ray serene, the dark unfathomed caves of ocean bear. Full many of flowers born to blush unseen, and waste its sweetness on the desert air. When you talk to people who do hospice work, what people regret in their lives are not the things they did do so much as the things that they didn't do.
Right.
So their purest ray serene is never seen. They don't share their gifts. And why don't they? Because they're afraid to put them in a word. Oh, that's stupid. That'll never work. Where'd you get that dumb idea? So, and everybody has gifts to share, and this world needs all the gifts it can get.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. Hello, hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them. Global Prosperity Academy, GPA, is a community of like-minded individuals that are heart-centered and mission-driven, focusing on high-level communication training, leadership development, and strategic community building. Take a look at the video in the link below and see how GPA is right for you.
Ever wish you had a generous, wealthy uncle? Well, this Gab Talk sponsor may be the next best thing. If you've ever found yourself wishing some successful person would willingly invest their time, energy, and money in you to help you crawl out of the drudgery of your life, then this is your lucky day. Most people will ignore this. They'll think it's too good to be true. But if you'll pay attention, you may just discover that he is the guy. And as you might imagine, this is exactly why I've been asked not to reveal his identity. If I did, he would surely be overwhelmed by countless people sending in their sob stories in hopes of getting a handout. Well, he can't help everybody. He's not a charity. He's a business philanthropist, and he's made millions and would like to give back. He's willing to give a few total strangers a hand up. If you would like him to invest in you and you want more wealth, better health, and a drastically improved quality of life, simply click the link and tell him your story. Be honest. He'll see what he can do. I can't promise he's going to solve all of your problems, but he will make you this promise. If you have the courage to tell your story, he'll read every word and give you a valuable gift just for doing so. So go ahead. What are you waiting for? Click the link and share your story.
So I'm going to ask you, if you were able to go back to that high school student that you were, or some of our younger audience, because we have some folks that are listening to us that are just starting out, what one piece of advice would you give to help get that much closer to success that much more quickly?
Well, one of the things I think it's really important to understand that whatever you have to share, where you're at now, obviously you keep working on upgrading, but whatever you share right now is good enough. Pamela Bruner, the gal I mentioned, said, just remember too, a kindergartner, a first grader is a genius. And so whatever you have to share, there are people who need it. And this whole thing that people think, well, I'm not good enough, or, oh, there's so many other people who do what I do. I don't have to do it. But the reality is that all of this is all personal. Whatever message you have, some people can only hear it in your voice, nobody else's.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. That is absolutely so true. So, you and I had a really fascinating conversation about your background and your history and all of those things that you did, your volunteer work and all the other things that got you here. I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor to you for several minutes so that you can share your best tips with our audience to help them to get that much closer to success.
Okay, well, I consider effective communication and confident communication to be a three-legged stool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a three-legged stool and one leg is missing,
Right.
so what are the three legs? The first leg is your what? What is your message? To me, that's the foundation. When you know you have something worthwhile to share, when it's clear and concise and compelling, and it's crafted in the language of your people that need what you have, so they say, "Oh, this person gets me. I need this person."
Mm-hmm.
That message, that's what that and it gives you a purpose that you know you need to share this message. It's so wonderful. And of course, you keep improving it as you go along. The
Mm-hmm.
second is the how. And there's two parts to the how, the oral and the visual. The oral is your presentation skills. And one of the things I always recommend to people, do not memorize your talk. Because if you get stuck in the middle, you know, And you can't, and people who memorize their talk get up there and start talking like a robocall, and they're boring.
Yeah.
And so I work with people on their presentation skills and how to use their voice effectively so that it's engaging and keeps people's attention. The other is the visual. And this is really important. I mean, have you ever gotten an email, Gabriella, that is what I call a stream of consciousness, big blob of text in a small font that the human eye cannot read?
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
we may
have.
have all. And the place where you've got to watch out for this for yourself is in your About section in your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn does not allow you to have anything but that ridiculously small font. So if you have a big paragraph there, people aren't going to read it. You need to divide it up and use arrows and all kinds of things. And don't forget also in your LinkedIn profile that banner is a tremendous marketing place, and your headlines are all the important keywords. So how you present yourself visually is really important. And of course, there's always the dreaded death by PowerPoint, which we work on. So that's the how, visually and orally. And the third leg is the allow. Are you allowing yourself? Are you getting over the fear? And just, I'd like to share something about the fear. The fear is not a physical fear. We don't think anybody's going to tackle us when we start talking.
Right.
It's an emotional fear. There's three basic. We're fear of being criticized, we're afraid of being rejected, and we're afraid of failing and looking stupid. And so one of the things that I like to do is help people overcome those fears so that they can, in fact, don't let those fears keep them locked inside their comfort zone where they don't share their gifts with people who
Right.
need them. So that's the other piece. So it's what's your message? How are you presenting it orally and visually? And are you allowing yourself getting over the fear? So I have a whole bunch of tools in my toolbox that I help people with that.
Absolutely. On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello, I'm Dr. Anna Maria Blevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, LLC. We get people their jobs of their dreams. We help them start a business or organization, and we even help them along their career pathway. It gives me great pleasure to bring to your attention and honor the hero of the moment, Onward and Upward. Onward and Upward does everything in its power to help those that are homeless, without jobs, without the use of their own computer, get back on their feet. They help people learn what it is that they need to do to get an online job, to get an on-site job. So Onward and Upward is giving a hand up to those that need it. Their website, onwardupwardinc.org. Get in touch with them if you need their help or if you would like to support them. Again, this is Dr. Anna Maria Blevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, wishing you a blessed day.
And speaking of, we are getting close to the end of the interview. So I would like to ask you to share with our audience how it is that they can actually reach out to you to find out more about that toolbox.
Okay, well, first of all, I invite everybody to go to my website, vibrantvocalpower.com. And I named it that because I want everybody to come into the power of their voice, to have it be powerful and vibrant and interesting and attractive.
Awesome. So when you and I were talking earlier, I asked if you had any offers for our audience today. And in fact, you do. Will you share that with our audience as well?
Well, first of all, there's my website, which is chock full of all kinds of information. It's vibrantvocalpower.com. And the reason it's that name is because I want people to come into the power of their voice, to have vibrant vocal power. And there is a gift there when you go to that website. I also have a special gift for your audience, and it's 3 free months in my membership academy, VVP Academy. which is full of all of my coffee and coaching club trainings and all kinds of mentor trainings and all kinds of resources for people who need, in the middle of the night, you're invited to do an interview. How do I get ready? There's a resource for it. So that URL is weallwin.club.
Awesome. And we will make sure that all of Marjorie's links are in the description below, in the show notes. So make sure that you go and click on the link, take a look at all of the content on the website, and take her up on her offer. Don't forget to click subscribe. Make sure you click the reminder so that you get notified when our next episode is publishing, and we will see you next time. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.